Good afternoon, MPP Christina Elliott. Welcome to CFN.
Great to join you, Jamie. Thank you.
How is the campaign going?
Well, it's very busy, actually. We've got the active membership drive going on until the end of February for people to join our party and be able to vote in the May election. So I'm traveling quite a bit. I'm just leaving Belleville right now en route to Kingston and ultimately to Ottawa and then Cornwall. So it's a busy schedule, but I'm really enjoying it.
Now, recently we saw some hardball politics enter your nomination race with MP Patrick Brown throwing some accusations at you folks about Mr. Hudak's tenure as leader. And I'm sure it's something you're used to when you're campaigning in a regular election, but is that something you're used to in a nomination run?
Well, I'm actually disappointed that Patrick decided to do that, because this is really a race among party members. We know that we all have to come together again after this is all over and make sure that we develop a plan together to beat the Liberals and take over government in 2018. So I intend to keep my campaign focused on that.
Now, as the front runner in the race, which most of the polls are showing that you are, how do you deal with the questions, though, that were raised about being, a key member of Mr. Hudak's team and going through the last election, which I'm sure was very, very disappointing to yourself and other Conservatives?
Well, it was a very disappointing result, but I can say categorically that I did not know about the plan to announce 100,000 job cuts in the last election. I found out at the same time that everybody else did in Ontario, and Mr. Brown can say that's not true 100 times, but that doesn't make it the truth. I was there. My caucus colleagues were all as surprised as anybody else about what happened, and I think that's what we need to move on from there and talk about the issues that really matter in this campaign.
So, assuming that you are successful and you gain the leadership of the party, what are the three key challenges that you think you're going to have to overcome to defeat Kathleen Wynne in the next election? What are the three core issues?
Well, I think, first of all, we need to come together as a party, and that means it starts now with making sure we don't launch any personal attacks on anybody else, because we all have to get together and work together at the end of the day. And we also need to make sure that we involve our members in all decisions that we make leading up to the next campaign, most particularly in terms of policy development. So we need to do that, and then we need to go out and speak to the people of Ontario about what we're all about as progressive Conservatives, what our values are and what we stand for, because I think people have gotten the wrong impression about what we're about and what I stand for. And as progressive Conservatives, we have these values, first of all, being fiscally responsible, not spending money that we don't have and living within our means. Nothing else is possible until you get your books, balance the budget and get the books under control. But we also are socially compassionate. We believe in helping people who can't help themselves, in making sure that we can help families that have children with autism or other disabilities to get the programs and services that they need, to make sure that we take care of frail elderly people who need home care and long-term care services, and to make sure that young people with developmental disabilities have a chance at a life after they turn 21. So many young people are just left after they finish school with no job and no hope and no friends. I want to change that and make sure that we recognize the abilities in everyone and give everybody an opportunity to be successful in Ontario. So that's the message that I want to get out, and as leader, that's what I would be talking about. In fact, that's what I'm talking to people about now, and it's resonating with people across the province. And I would say not just with our members, but with people that aren't necessarily of our political persuasion. It's a message that I think that they're waiting to hear from us.
Now, while Mr. Hudak was leader, your party was accused many times of automatically voting against legislation. Are politics becoming too partisan?
I think in many ways, yes. I think that we need to give thoughtful consideration to things that come before us as legislators, and to try and find solutions to the real problems that many Ontarians face. And I was very fortunate in the time that I've been at Queen's Park to bring forward two private members' bills that resulted in select committees of all three parties in the legislature. The first one was on mental health and addictions, and the second one just recently was on developing a comprehensive developmental services strategy. Those are real problems, and we found solutions, all three parties working together. So I like to work with other parties if it's on non-partisan issues to actually get the job done for people. That's why people elected us in the first place, and that's my duty and responsibility, both as an MPP and hopefully as a party leader. In some cases, you will have to respectfully disagree with other people, and there are many situations that fundamentally disagree with the Liberals' handling of our economy, for example. But I think you try to find commonality where you can and try and solve those problems wherever you can. Regardless of political stripe, we all hear the same issues in our communities, and it's incumbent on all of us to find solutions.
Now, if you're successful in gaining leadership of the party, this would be a first for Ontario in that all three party leaders would be led by women. Do you think that this at all would change the dynamic of politics in Ontario or the next election?
Well, I think it would be a really interesting and a new concept, and maybe it would get more people involved in politics. But, I think all of us stand on our own merits, and I'm not running just because I'm a woman, and that might be a refreshing sign, but because I believe that I have the qualifications and the experience necessary to help lead our party forward and to win government next time around, and to turn our economy into the economic powerhouse that it's meant to be.
All right. And any comment about the fluctuation in the Canadian dollar right now and the American dollar and how it's going to impact the economy of Ontario? Because that's a hot issue right now.
Well, it is a matter of concern, of course, with the state of our dollar and with falling oil prices, of course, too. It shows that our economy is still quite precarious and needs to be nurtured. The signs that I'm seeing from the Liberal government aren't helpful in the sense of bringing forward a proposed carbon tax on businesses and the Ontario Retirement Pension Plan, which they say is going to lose us another 150,000 jobs. So we need to be very vigilant to make sure that we do whatever we can to strengthen our economy, not bring us into further economic decline.
All right, Ms. Elliott, thank you very, very much for your time. If people want to learn more about you, where do they find you on the web?
They can find me at christineelliott.ca.
All right.
I'd be pleased to hear from people and very grateful for their support.
Thank you.